Greetings, future people. We love to do this. I love to do this. This is my thing. So anytime we get a screener that makes us have to record a review way in advance, we're not allowed to drop this till like a while from now. But we got the chance to watch Suitable Flesh, starring Heather Graham and Barbara Crampton, directed by Joe Lynch, and this is based on H.P. Lovecraft. So, and it is, I think, produced by Brian Yuzna. So this is like a return for Barbara Crampton to Lovecraft and Yuzna. So it's like the old days. It's like From Beyond and Reanimator and whatever. So that was cool. But we got the chance to check this out early. Unfortunately, we can't drop this until like literally the day before this comes out.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. Now, this is about a therapist played by Heather Graham. She is in a mental institution and she is recounting her days leading up to what brought her in there. Now, this is very reminiscent of In the Mouth of Madness. We actually
of the Body Snatchers, the
original Invasion of the Body Snatchers. The 50s one.
Yeah.
We noticed the similarities
between,
because we just watched the original Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and his recounting of what had happened leading up to that event was very similar to Trent in the Mouth of Madness, which of course is also Lovecraft.
Yeah.
And then this one starts with the In the Mouth of Madness recounting to a doctor this time, her friend played by Barbara Crampton. And we find out that she met this young guy who came into her office, and he is telling her that something is trying to take over his body. It's not Freddy. This isn't Nightmare 2. Nope, this is something else. And she of course doesn't believe him, but eventually she starts to, for very good reasons. So now this is body horror to a degree, and of course that's what a lot of people are going to be coming here for, because it is Lovecraft, because it has Crampton and whatnot. We're thinking we're going to get something along the lines of like a From Beyond or something. As far as the body horror goes, okay, did I like this movie? I was thinking about this because we did watch this like a week ago, and I will say this will be my review on this. It's not a film that I loved or hated, but there are things in it I love, and there are things in it that I hated.
Okay.
So I am kind of somewhere in the middle on this movie. I did quite, because this is a very like sensual, sexual film.
Yes.
And it kind of has like a made for TV late 90s Skinamax feel to me.
Yeah.
Which I was and the acting in it, while I think the acting from Heather Graham isn't bad, I think it actually is kind of good. I did find a cheesiness to the entire film, maybe purposely.
Yeah.
But there is a cheapness to this film. It feels lower. It does feel lower, in the production value, lower quality in that way. But so that was kind of a downside to me. Just the feel of the film. It did feel almost made for television.
Yeah, I
agree. When I say made for television, that term doesn't really apply anymore, because television is so high quality these days that I mean like made for TV what that used to mean in like the 90s
or like the 2000s. Yeah. Now that's like not that could be a compliment if anything now.
Sure, geez, yeah.
I agree. I did feel that there was a cheapness and a kind of a corniness, which I do think was partly intentional. For me, I think I let my expectations for the film get a little too high, because I was a bit disappointed with this when we watched it. I was disappointed mainly in the body horror arena.
Yeah.
There's some cool stuff that happens at the very end. Like the last act has some of more body horror type of stuff going on. But personally, I think that there wasn't enough in the film.
Yeah.
I think that the story kind of calls for more more of that to be like viscerally shown, and that's not something that we get. And I also think that because it is so sensual and like sexually charged, I also felt like because it had that made for TV, like we didn't, there's not a lot to be shown, but there is stuff that should be shown. Like
Yeah.
there's not, I don't know, it just didn't, it kind of was lacking in all of that. Because I think body horror films for me, I mean, it's all about like the flesh and like seeing the
Yeah.
skin and seeing people naked and like getting uncomfortable, but also like kind of aroused. But like, you know, and especially this film, which was supposed to be very erotic.
Yes.
I think that that was a big missed opportunity. And maybe that is because the actresses are, you know, Heather Graham's, but she looked great. Like we were talking about this. We were like, maybe she doesn't want to like show her body anymore because she's older or whatever.
She does show her breasts though in this movie.
She does,
like barely,
briefly.
but like you know, you do see her nipples and stuff for a second, but she does not. Yeah, it doesn't go the full Monty or anything, and I understand that at her age.
Yeah, I mean, but they, you know, her and Barbara Crampton both look wonderful, and you know, not that actresses have to get naked or anything. Like, I'm definitely not the person that's like, I only want to see their boobs, but I do think that this story, this film, is one that should have been more explicit than it was.
I agree.
In many areas.
I agree.
And you know, I don't know. I guess I would say that overall I didn't like the film very much. I wasn't really getting into the style of dialogue and the way people were reacting to things, and I really was trying to, because I am a huge fan of like Reanimator, and I love From Beyond, and you know, other Lovecraft things, and even something kind of like a David Lynch where people talk in a, you know, it's not very realistic. Like I do typically like movies and shows that go for that vibe, but for some reason this one wasn't really clicking for me. I wasn't getting in, like I think it just wasn't weird enough. I think I wanted it just to be weird.
Yeah.
So
no, I agree with that. I think the film's lacking in the goods for sure. And I think that this was a pretty big disappointment, because when we had originally saw a trailer to this and with the names attached and what it could be, we actually had hopes for this being in a top 10 type of thing.
Yes.
And with as strong as this year has now been in the last month, I mean, this wouldn't come anywhere near that. So I think that is a letdown, and you're right. The movie lacks the goods in every sense of the way. You know, with it being likened and connected to the greats like From Beyond, which has insane practicals and insane wild. Like there's more. Even though this film is more erotic, there's more eroticism in From Beyond that works. Barbara Crampton is very sexy in that movie, and there is something that feels erotic in that. And as to where this movie, the main focus of the film is eroticism, but it never really lands it as much as it should for what it's trying to do. So I definitely agree with that. I was telling Kaylee though throughout this, I was happy and impressed with I felt like the director and the people were just like, get me the hottest older people you can find, because like Barbara Crampton, Heather Graham, and the husband, who I know from like That Thing You Do, and like we're like, I haven't seen him in a while, but like he looks great. And they're just all very sexy, and I feel like Hollywood only likes to glorify the appeal of sexuality in older men and not so much women. And we watched a couple movies like back to back that were really putting a really like positive focus on that older women still have, you know, like physical appeal to them.
Like they can still be hot.
Yes.
Obviously.
I found Barbara Crampton and Heather Graham to be insanely sexy in this movie.
I agree.
And Heather Graham's, I think, in her mid-50s, and Barbara Crampton's got to be in her at least her early 60s.
Oh, yeah. They look fantastic. They look absolutely wonderful.
Yes.
Which is, I guess it is kind of why it's like, man, and these are actresses that like are used to being shown on on screen and stuff. And it just, the script obviously, I don't know. I shouldn't say obviously. I don't know if the script was changed or if they didn't want to do it or what, but it just seems like such a missed opportunity.
Yeah,
to not include that, and because everybody is so attractive, and it is just it's about like the downfall of sensuality, like where that can lead for people.
Yeah.
And I don't know,
and Heather Graham and Barbara Crampton are known for their nudity in their past films. Like Barbara Crampton was naked in like every film she made. Now, do I think she has to be here? No, because she's in like her 60s. But as you were saying, this film very much calls for it.
It really
right?
does.
It's part of the film's like style.
Yeah.
Is like the film is all hyper sexualized.
Yeah.
And it's like you're not seeing absolutely anything. So the film doesn't allow itself to hit the peak of eroticism and sexuality that it wants to.
Yeah.
And the horror side of things
horror,
are also
right.
very, very lackluster in that way.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, if they could have gotten a little bit more of a budget to make the film feel more like a film, that they could have much harder on the body horror, gore, whatever. And if they could have gotten either different actresses or these actresses, hopefully these actresses, to, you know, say, hey, this is the film. This is what we need for this film. You know, can you, you know, are you comfortable being in this film in this way?
Right.
If not, we're either going to have to do body doubles,
yeah,
or we're going to have to hire someone else, because this is that kind of film.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is the first time I think Kaylee and I are in agreement that there wasn't enough boobs in a movie.
Yeah, maybe.
Because the last movie we just watched, I said the same thing, and she was like, "No, I didn't need it. We didn't need it."
Yeah.
And I was saying literally the exact same thing. I was like, "This is a film about like it doesn't matter. It's about the nudity and this and that, but here you wanted it, and there you didn't."
Yeah.
Because this movie didn't make you uncomfortable, and that one did. Anyways, that's that. So it's going to be available, I think, tomorrow. I think they're allowing me to us to release this like a day before it comes out. So by the time you see this, I think it'll be available like tomorrow. But if you were like really excited about this one and you think it's going to be like a companion piece to something like Reanimator and From Beyond, then you are going to be pretty damn disappointed.
Yeah.
If you just want to see a movie about 50 or 60 something year olds looking really sexy for their age, then this is the one for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I didn't hate it. I think I liked it a little bit more than her, but I will agree. So. I am pretty disappointed because of what I thought. I really thought this was going to be like, oh my God, yes, this is so
Absolutely.
good. This is a contender for the, you know, best of the year and all that stuff. No.
Definitely
like,
not.
This is like a 5 out of 10 for me. Like So it's nowhere near. It's just something that I was like, I didn't hate it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, all right. Well, let us know what you thought.
Yeah.
And see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.